Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys Board Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're going to talk about board games and related things and unrelated things.
Mostly
that
unrelated.
is
So things is what you're saying. We're going to talk about things.
Stuff and things?
Stuff and things.
Okay.
I mean, board games are the common thread.
Yeah.
Because anything that we talk about is things that we did in our lives, and we are only talking about them here because board games brought the three of us together.
That's true.
Sounds like bargaining.
Anyway, I'm tired. I drove all the long way to Lake Dillon, the town of Dillon, and then I drove the long way back to Denver.
So is that like going through Utah and then like Wyoming?
It felt that way.
Nebraska and then loop back around?
It felt that way.
Okay.
I went south down through Fairplay, which is like the path to like Salida, up into Alma where I picked Megan up at a hostel. And then we drove through Breckenridge to Dillon where we could go to the REI and she could get some new insoles because her feet were hurting her. And then we drove back through Breckenridge, through Alma, through Fairplay, and I dropped her off at Kenosha Pass.
Oh, was she already on?
She has been on the trail for a week at this point.
That makes more sense now. I was like, why was she at a hostel?
Yes. Yes, she had already hiked 70 miles at this point. And she's got some kind of like a foot thing that's really common for people who wear high heels, which is weird because she doesn't wear high heels like fucking ever. But she's got like really high arches, which is a contributing thing. But it's some kind of like, it's not plantar fasciitis. It's like, but it's some other like, doctory sounding term for a foot thing.
Yeah.
That started acting up. And so then she, on her left foot. So then she was overcompensating walking on like her right side, which then fucked up her right knee. So she had a 0 day and sat in a hostel and drank stem ciders, yesterday. And then I picked her up today, got some medical tape, some new insoles. And she's getting a half day in today, and then she's hiking for 5 more days, and then I'm going to meet her in Leadville, and I'm going to get fucking a Cuban sandwich.
If it's open.
Yeah, that's my concern.
Yeah.
It's going to be on a Saturday. They got to be open on a Saturday,
It was a
right?
fucking weekend when we went there, too.
Oh, God damn it. Why are you making me nervous, Jeff?
Because literally nothing said that they were closed on anything I could possibly look at to see, like their website, Facebook, Instagram, Yelp,
Concerning.
Google Maps.
Very
They were
concerning.
like, yep, we're open today. Sure as fuck weren't. We're talking about, of course.
Buki.
Yes.
What?
Sandwich shop.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Buki. Buchi.
Bucci?
Bucci.
Wow. For some reason, I didn't think it was pronounced with a ch. Anyway, yeah, they're a great Cuban restaurant. That used to be mere blocks from where I used to live, and then I moved, and then COVID happened, and then they closed that location, and now only exist apparently very part-time in Leadville, Colorado.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about a place in Chicago that had the best sandwich ever that we were told, and then wasn't.
I mean, clearly you just ordered the wrong sandwich.
It was the Cuban.
Well, I mean, what? You expect a Cuban to be good at a Cuban restaurant?
Actually, I do, yeah.
No. Well, there's your problem.
And it was average at best.
Yeah.
See, I want to eat this now so that I can weigh in. I want to be the middleman.
Find a was it Cubacito?
Yes. The one attached to a hostel.
Yep.
Is there more than one?
Yes, it's a chain.
See, that immediately makes me doubt, like, the best ever.
This came from a Paul recommendation. Paul's recommendations are only top tier, and this one fell solidly in the middle of the road.
That's fair. Caught him on an off day.
Except it was his like favorite place that he went to all the time.
He's
Yeah.
like, they don't have off days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Cuban coffee was good, but mostly because it was just like sugar espresso. But
That does not sound pleasant to me.
It is good.
it is good.
Yeah.
I've never liked sugar in my coffee, so
This is it's just espresso with sugar, so it's very different than just a sugar in Americano, I guess.
perhaps.
Yeah, it is different.
I did really, really like Moroccan mint tea, which is like just vague mint leaves and a fuckload of sugar. It's like if you made a minty version of like Southern style, like sweet tea.
Gotcha.
Like it was very good. It was a hot tea, but it was very good. Anyway,
Board games?
let's talk about board games
Okay.
on this board gaming podcast.
Sure.
I don't know who to start with.
Sounds like you then.
Okay, so me. Then 2 weeks ago, we're gonna go back because I think we said in our last episode we talked about how we were going to take a week off because I am on the fuck everything schedule.
Yes.
That makes no goddamn sense. So, looking ahead at my calendar, it's basically like I get 2 of any given day off in a row, and then I work 2 of that day, more or less. There's some rare exceptions, but like, so I'm off this Monday and next Monday, but then I work 2 Mondays, and like I've yet to get home before 7:15 on a day that I work. So, recording on those Mondays is unlikely. So we skipped a week, which means that there's 2 game nights to talk about. So 2 weeks ago, we were at Westfax. They are located on West Colfax, near the rapidly being renovated Casa Bonita.
Not so rapid, but
No, it's taking forever. But it is
Colossal.
always in a different state every time we go there. So that's
something.
That's interesting. It is very pink now. Like, it was pink before. It is a very clean, new, bright pink. But anyway, that's not about board games either. The food truck had canceled. I ordered some food, and then by the time all of that happened, looking for something to play, Jeff was looking to set up a game with, I already forgot her name because
Jess.
I am not good with names.
You don't like recognize people as people. So
That's actually the opposite. I'm really good with faces. I'm really bad with names. So I see the individual. I just don't retain any information about them. So we played Azul. This was Jess's first time playing. It was my first time playing in a long time.
Mine as well. I think the last time I played with the wild thing, the wild tiles, the Joker tiles or whatever they are.
Yeah.
We played a 4-player game. Went pretty smooth. It's a good game. I ended up winning, which is
I think I got dead last.
Unusual for me. Yes, indeed. And then Megan and Jess were somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
But it was solid. I do remember why I vaguely like Azul. It's a good game.
Yeah. It's good game.
It's a good game. There was an in there.
Have you played any of the
I have not.
subsequent? Okay, yeah.
Neither have I.
I've only played Azul.
I feel like there was one that might have been close to it, like in terms of goodness, but I think like all the other ones have not been nearly as good as the OG one. So
yeah.
So I would like to give some of the other ones a try, but I've just never really had a chance. And anytime that like I think of that I have vaguely had a chance, it's like, there's something else that I want to try, because it's usually at like a convention where they're there, but it's like, but there's like other things that are newer and more exciting than just different Azul. And regular Azul's good enough. So after that, I broke off. Megan and I went and joined Paul and Eric and another guy who I had not met before for a 5-player game of Spirit Island. We played, I think it was level 5 difficulty. I don't remember which adversary we played against in that one.
Was it England or France?
I don't believe it was.
Okay, then I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, it was Scotland. That's who it was. It was Scotland. It was a good game, tough game. I have been wanting to play some of the higher difficulties with Paul and Eric for a while, because I wanted to see, like, they've both of them in 2-player beaten all of the adversaries at level 6 difficulty. So I'd wanted to like kind of, see if I could glean any like play style information from them. The problem was we played a 5-player game. The new guy was also very good. And
that's good at least.
It was impossible for me to even keep up with what they were doing. Sometimes like I'd get all like geared up to do something, and then like I'd be like, okay, I'm ready, and they're like, all right, everybody's ready. Okay, fast actions. They're like, all right, all of this is dead and gone. And I'm like, but I was gonna do that. I guess I don't do anything. Cool.
Because the 4 of them have wiped off the entire board.
And they're just like, another wasted turn from Adrian.
Yep. We did end up winning. We won a fear victory by destroying the last city. So like a level 3 fear victory, which was nice. I always like winning Spirit Island. 5-player game was okay. I I've played one 6-player game that also went okay. I don't mind Spirit Island at larger player counts. It really seems to scale pretty well. You definitely want to be a little bit careful with like what difficulty or with what spirits everybody's playing, because like in the bigger maps, some spirits have a really hard time like affecting anything that's not like a little more than a board away or something like that. So that was it for Westfax. This past Wednesday, we were at Odell again. Always a good time at Odell. This time I went early and played more Spirit Island. So Spirit Island into Spirit Island. This time it was a 3-player game with just Paul, Eric, and I. We played this time against France. I think we played...
So France was this one.
Yeah,
okay.
I think we played level 5 as well. I was Shroud of Silent Mist or something like that. They're a very interesting spirit that wants to like spread around and move a lot, and like things in areas with their presence don't heal, which is kind of cool because like normally like the Dahan and the invaders heal at the end of each round. This way, like you can kind of really whittle things down, like just doing 1 damage at a time, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. And I gain energy and stuff from them being wounded in my territory, like feeding off of their pain and anguish, which is
Okay.
dark and awesome, and I love it. This one went really well. We didn't even blight the island. We won without it ever even blighting the island. It got close. I think we got down to like 1 blight left on the card at one point. But it was another really solid victory. This one was nice because like we got to game night early, so there wasn't really anyone else to like bother us or interrupt us. And it was only 3 of us, and it was at the beginning of the night when I hadn't been drinking. And so like I was able to follow along a lot better with what was going on in the game, which was nice. We finished that up, and then Eric took off, and after I did a little walk around and talked to people while Paul played Welcome to Space, or
Welcome to the Moon.
That was
Welcome to the
later.
Moon.
That was later, right?
No, you guys played Welcome to the Moon while I like walked around.
No, I left.
Huh?
You're forgetting about Subastral is what you're forgetting about
Well,
before Welcome to the Moon.
Okay, so you guys played Subastral while I talked to Eric. Once Eric left, Paul played Welcome to the Moon while I walked around.
Well, he played Subastral with us
Okay.
and you. And
I
then
did not play Subastral. Oh, I did play a round of Subastral.
You
Yes,
played
you
the second game of it.
Yes, I did play in the second game.
And then Welcome to the Moon happened.
Yeah.
And then I walked away from that because I just wasn't in the mood for a roll and write, flip and fill type game.
Yeah.
So Subastral.
Yes.
So we all played Subastral. It's a kind of card drafting-ish game. You play a card, and then depending on where you play it, you can either take cards.
There's 6 spots.
Yeah.
And then every card has a number between 1 and 6. And depending on what number you play, on which number, so you have to play the 3 on the 3 or the 1 on the 1.
And then you get to take like the cards to one side. I don't remember which sides were which. But one side you get to put the cards in your hand to like use them to play like later, or to the other side you get to put them out in your tableau that you're building. That
Your set
scores,
collectioning.
yeah, like in set collection style. The scoring's kind of interesting. I don't know. I feel like it was like the only thing that was really interesting I thought about it was the sets of like the same color, being like the
same biome.
the 2 highest, but then like it defaulting to the lowest one if there are ties.
Yeah.
But otherwise, a lot of that felt like the similar kind of set collection scoring you see in a lot of things, where like you get a certain amount of points for having like runs, and then some for having
And
sets.
sequentially more for the longer your run is.
Then you can get multiple runs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I probably am the least excited about this game of the 3. I thought it was okay. I certainly don't really have any desire to like play it. It's at least easy to play and teach. Like there's not a lot involved there, but I wasn't like really blown away by the actual gameplay itself. So, but I don't know, maybe more plays, you get into more strategy of like what to play where to like.
Because each biome has a rarity depending on how many players there are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, both games were played with the wrong amount of cards in the deck.
That's why I lost.
Yep. I'm sure of it.
I mean, if there had been one more round, I probably would have beat Jeff's score from the first game.
That's probably true.
Yeah. it probably would have gone. It probably would have gone one more round.
Yeah,
had there been those cards. Had those cards been.
It would have been just one more round. Yeah.
Yeah, because you finish out the round and then you do one more.
Yep.
And it would have ended at the beginning of a round, which would have finished that one out and then one more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus just the one extra one. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on Subastral?
It's an enjoyable set collection game. There is also a variant rule where, like, if you have a bunch of cards left in your hand, you have to, like, pass them to the player on your left.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, like at the end of the game?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to, like, punish some meta of, like, just getting a ton of cards in your hand and not using them or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm not.
I felt like I didn't have much of a problem. I mean, I had more of a problem of having cards to play because that second game, I know in the previous 2 times that I've played it, one at Gen Con and then one earlier in the night, it was very much a never do that default action, basically never run out of cards in your hand if you can fucking help it. But on that second game on that night, I was a lot more cavalier with using my cards. If I was like, it's better for me to take this now and then just take a random card later than just sort of stall for a turn to get one extra card or something into my hand to play later. So it was still fun. And I mean, I do like having that option now of like trying to figure out when it's good to, expend your entire hand or not.
Yeah. You also like destroyed everyone in the second game.
I did.
You got like
dramatic.
It
almost triple digit score.
It was 92 or 93 or something like that.
Wes did a very good job of feeding you.
He
some
did.
Awesome setups.
It was good. Well, and also at the last hand too, I definitely was able to get like 4 cards on that, like that I put on my tableau that were all like they didn't fuck up anything. They just made things better.
Yeah,
because I was able to get
you got like 36 in one of your stacks or something like that.
So I had all 8. I just had one run, but it was a run of 8, so it was 36. And then and then on my sixth level, the 6th card, I had 6 of those cards, so 6 times 6, so 36 as well. So it was like a shitload of fucking points just from those.
Yeah.
So
that'd be 72 points alone.
Yeah.
But it's quick. It's easy.
Indeed.
It's neat.
It's got great art.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
I do really like the art style.
It's got a lot of fun facts.
A lot of fun facts.
I didn't read a single fun fact the entire time we
You
played.
wouldn't.
I usually really dig on that kind of stuff, but it did not clock for me at all.
Maybe if they're unfun facts, you would have read them.
That's probably true. Something about trains, maybe.
Yeah.
This biome will be gone in the next 40
Yeah,
years.
depressing facts.
That would really draw me in. Yeah, and then after that, I played a 4-player game of Quest for El Dorado. Wes, Danny, and I don't remember who the 4th player was. It was fine. It's Quest for El Dorado. I did not do good at all. I got stuck
Do you
in
have
a
the
corner.
expansion? I forget.
Yes.
Okay.
I got stuck in a corner. I risked it for the biscuit, so to speak, and went on a 3-spirit journey, and definitely drew on 2 different occasions to have somebody move you back 2 spaces. And I went for
so the biscuit was a bit moldy.
It was
what I'm hearing.
very stale.
Yeah.
And then I went for
Hard attack.
I went for the adventurers camp to get the super upgradey card, and the 3 I drew to pick from were arguably, I think they were probably 3 of the worst ones.
Gotcha.
I ended up taking the one that when you play it, you get to draw a mountain tile from the supply, and then you get to play one of your mountain tiles without discarding it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the very first spirit thing I had ever drawn was the discarded mountain tile. So the first time I got that guy, it was I play him and I draw a mountain tile, and then I have to discard it before I can play any mountain tiles. So yay. Glad I went on the detour to get this fucking guy.
Good job. Nice.
Wes won smashingly. He was, or no, Wes almost, no. It was the other guy who I don't remember his name.
There's no way to know.
No way to know.
Unless Wes jumps in the chat at some point and is oh, it was this person.
No.
Nope. You know what? Just go ahead and let Wes take the victory. It's okay. It doesn't. We're not gonna fact check you on this. We never do. You know that.
Trust but verify, guys.
Yeah.
And that's it for what I've played board game wise. I've not played a lot of board games outside of game night. And yeah, I was going to play games last night with Paul and Eric. We're going to play a 3-player Le Havre.
Oh, did it end up happening?
No, because I did not leave work until like 7:20, and then I came home and clocked in and did like 2 more hours of reports and paperwork stuff.
Ah, gotcha.
I messaged them at like 9:30. I was like, guys, I'm still on the clock. And they were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like, really happy I'm hourly right now.
Oh, I bet.
Really
Yeah.
happy I'm hourly. Although if I wasn't hourly, I would not have done all that extra work.
Yeah.
I'm doing all of that extra work to get that salary. Once that salary comes, I'm out. No more.
Significantly less effort.
Correct. Yes, that's it for what I played for games. So what about you fellas?
So when we were at Westfax, after you guys played Azul, we started a game of, just trying to think of the right order. Was it We Are Doomed first? Or
Yes.
Okay. So we played a game.
Well, what were you playing when we got there? Because you were playing something.
Calico.
Yeah.
I played Calico. It was Danny, Eric, and then Wes. We played a game of Calico. Have you ever played it,
I have not played
No.
Calico now.
Jeff?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, it's sort of a standard game. You got your like player board. It's like the quilt that you're trying to quilt. Or
Okay.
I think it's a quilt. I'm not sure. It's some sort of blanket-esque thing.
Okay.
And on your turn, you have 2 hexagons in your hand. You put one of them down, and then there's 3 that are like sort of a market. You choose which one of those you want, and then you draw from the bag to replace it. Now, when you're putting down your tiles, you have a couple things that you want to keep an eye out for. One, if you get runs of colors or patterns, you're going to get points after a certain amount of tiles that you've put down. The colors, it's just 3+. The patterns are dependent on which cats are out for scoring. It could be 3+, it could be 5 or 7+, or it could also just be 5 that are in a line, or like 3 that are in a like triangle, depending on which ones are out. But so you want to keep it, pay attention to that. But then you also have like 3 scoring conditions that you put out in the center of the game, or at the beginning of the game, in the center of your mat on 3 different areas that are like, it'll say stuff like A, A, B, B, C, C. And what that means is there's 6 spaces around it, and you'll get, and say it says like 7 points or 13 points. So if you have 3 sets of 2 colors, so if you have like 2 green, 2 blue, and 2 purple around it, you can get 7 points because that's the A, B, B, C, C.
Okay.
But then if you also have 3 sets of 2 patterns, or of like, of 3 different sets of the same pattern,
So like striped spots and
yes,
solid.
yeah,
Okay.
you can get points as well. And if you have both of those, then you get like the 13 points instead of the 7. So
Okay.
there's 3 different tiles, or there are 3 versions of the same tile. So it's like, if it's the purple with dots, there's 3 of those in the entire bag. But there's a combination. You don't have to match, like, it doesn't have to be a like purple dot, purple dot, purple dot. It could be like purple dot, green dot, blue dot, or purple dot and green dot. That counts for your 2 dots. And then you have like a purple with a stripe, and then like a green with a stripe. That still counts for like the stripes, right? So it's,
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have to be the same tile. It's just a combination of everything.
Sure.
And there's even one that's just like everything has to be unique. So all the
Okay.
6 different colors, and then all 6 of the different patterns. And so the game ends when you put down the last tile to fill your board. So it starts to get very like about a halfway, 2/3 of the way through, you start to being like, there is one specific tile that can fulfill this position and still let me score points and not fuck up everything. And there are 2 of those tiles already out, and I don't know what are in people's hands, but you're like just trying to hope that it comes out in the right time. And so you start to get near the end real like, oh God, I need these, and then trying to mitigate your losses.
Okay.
I think I ended up winning by 1 point, but it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I like it, and it's I would say fairly quick especially once everybody knows what's going on.
Okay.
And so the next one, We're Doomed. So after you guys got done with Azul, then we played We're Doomed. I think we had 9 people. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we had 9 people for like the next 4 games.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with Weird, I swear there has to be more than one of that clapping card for how fucking
Oh, I don't
often I
know.
see that.
Yeah, that came up, and we were playing Spirit Island. We're like, the fuck are they playing over there?
Oh, yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, they're playing We're Doomed. It's
Yeah.
probably that stupid card again.
Yes. We didn't have any auto wins from anybody.
Nope.
But did we even have anybody win?
Yes. Me.
You. How'd you win? Which one?
I think it was the first game.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was enough for a seat, and I had the influence.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I think I was the only winner on that one.
That's right. The first one ended with the clapping card came up,
Yeah.
and everybody just kept, 3 people just kept clapping until
Yep.
we died,
Yes.
until it was the end.
Mhm.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I won.
Mhm.
Everyone was applauding me as I got onto the rocket with only 1 seat and
Yep.
won.
And then the second time, I don't think
No one won.
no one won. Is that the one where you were too big to fail, so you just kept stealing?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would get 6 resources if I had no resources at the beginning of every turn, and then I would just bid all 6 every time. So, and then everyone would just steal from me, which meant like there was nothing being entered into the
Yeah. Well, because we wanted you to stop being the fucking leader for once.
yeah.
Yeah, stop doing that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Unless you all stole from me, then you would all tie, and then we would have to vote, and then that was the only way
Yeah.
anyone could be the ruler.
Yeah. But it went all right. After 2, we packed it up and we decided to pull out Secret Hitler, which had been, I want to say it's been I'm trying to think the last time I played a secret identity game that wasn't Werewords.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think I've played one since the pandemic started.
It has been
No,
a
I don't think I
long
have
time
either.
for
It was
me as
probably
well.
it was probably strange when I said shoot Bob in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recall that going well.
Yeah. So we played 2 games of that as well. The first game, Jeff and I were both
Fascists with Manny.
no, was it Manny?
Yeah,
It was Manny.
He was the third fascist,
And then Jason
yeah,
at the end was
he was Hitler.
He was Hitler. And so
Of course, we knew he was Hitler.
yeah, we knew he was Hitler, but he doesn't know who we are because at 9 or 10 players, Hitler does not know who the fascists are.
Yes. I had looked at his card
Yeah.
at one point or another and said he was liberal,
Yeah.
which was like the only interaction we had with Hitler.
With Hitler. At the first round I was on, I was I the president, I think? Yeah, because the president votes.
yeah.
No, the chancellor is the one that makes the that chooses, and that's the
Yeah.
because it's the
Well, they
president.
both choose.
Well, I know, but the president has 3,
Yes.
gives 2 to the chancellor, and then the chancellor actually enacts it. So I enacted a liberal policy, even though I had a choice of it being fascist.
I think Wes had given that to you.
Yes. And so then it was a bunch of it was 2 or after that, then it went to Danny, and then it was a 2, like they had like 3 fascist policies come out. So they had to enact a fascist policy no matter what. And then so she looked at my membership, party
Yes.
membership,
Mhm.
said that I was a fascist. And so the only thing I could do was just make it to where nobody chose Danny for anything. So then it was just constant back and forth with me and
Yes.
her the entire time.
Yes.
Great.
I was like, "There's nothing I can do," and even with Wes, he's like, "I am like 90% sure that Zach is fascist," like he said afterwards. But he was like, "But just in case, I was just like, I just got to make Danny toxic so that I at least get a liberal person out of the way." But it went through, and then what was it like after the third policy? Jason ended up being.
There was the 3 fascists, and then whenever the 4th one was going to happen, like I think I nominated him,
Yeah,
and that was it.
and that was it. And we won from that one, which felt nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one, Jeff and I were
Liberal.
liberals.
Yes.
And
so one of the fascists looked at another fascist person's car thing and said that they were liberal. And then I, on the next opportunity, looked at the person to check his work and it was like, oh, fascist. That means you're both fascist.
Yeah. And I will say this is that Jeff was being so aggressive in it, and I was like, if he ended up being like Hitler and we ended up enacting him as champion, I'd be like, he would have earned it. I'd have been like, yeah, that's fine. The world can go to hell.
Ultra aggressive Hitler.
Yeah. Nobody expects it.
I was like, just shoot him in the face, and I think we did shoot him.
No, so you kept telling me to shoot him, and I ended up shooting the guy that said that he was a fascist.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it's either Jeff is lying or that guy's lying.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, this guy's probably a fascist, and so I'm just going to shoot the other guy just to see. And so I shot him. He wasn't Hitler, but I didn't think that the guy that you looked at was Hitler, so that's why I was like, I'm going to try and take out this other guy.
Yeah.
But we ended up getting our 5th.
We won through liberal policies.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. No one elected Hitler.
I'll tell you this, though. What was funny is that through the entire, I want to say until like the 4th or 5th liberal policy in both games, I was the only one to have enacted liberal policies.
Yeah. There is a rarely used rule that if you're like later on in the game or something like that, you can, if the president and the chancellor both agree, you can just kind of like veto the whole thing, which means like basically if you get like 3 fascist policies and like that's going to win the game for them no matter what, and you have no choice, you can both agree to veto and it just goes to another round. So
in that case, you both have to be liberal. Otherwise, if one of them is a fascist, right, then they'll be like,
they
sure.
They can force it. So you have to both agree. But yeah, but that's a way to like not auto win as fascist just by draw.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, and I just did not remember that.
Yeah,
I was like,
same.
oh yeah, that makes sense to have that rule in there.
Yeah.
Yep. But it was fun. It had been a long time since I played those, and it was enjoyable.
Yeah,
it was nice to.
Still have Elder's copy that you left at DBC Arvada, sitting on my bookshelf now, going on like 6 months.
Wow. I should steal a liberal.
I was about to say.
I haven't been able to ever play my copy again after someone took or lost a liberal policy out of my nice wooden box edition.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like just a handful of months after it came out.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Anything else for you, Zach? Because that was just all Westfax.
That was just Westfax. At Odell, played Subastral. Played Welcome to the Moon. It was. I'm not that big a fan of like regular Welcome to. This one was a little bit. This one, you're building on a rocket, and we played like the beginner one. So it was like there are no like they added like actions in the game, and it was like I don't have actions.
You played with my coworker CJ, who was the 4th person also in the game of.
There we go. Okay. I don't.
El Dorado.
Gotcha. Okay.
He was the one who won.
Okay.
Wes almost caught up to him.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, Wes.
And then Danny and I were nowhere fucking close. We were like 2 tiles back. It was not close.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just pretty meh. I wasn't a big fan of it.
I thought from watching you guys play, it looked vaguely interesting. I would like to try it at some point.
I think it's going to be more interesting once you get past the first one because this one was just there's a bunch of different symbols out there, but for the basic one, it was just, if you get like the machine one, you just fill it in the machine section. If you get the green one, you fill it in the green section. That's it. The other one, I believe, has different, like at least from what we saw for the second side, that it was a lot more free form, and there's like more decisions to be made. Yeah, it was. There were there are negatives you can get in the game, but they're called like sabotages, and you can cause other people to get sabotages, which was sort of interesting in that like if you get it, then you're immune to that one, and everybody else marks it off so no one else can trigger that same sabotage.
Okay, interesting.
And then there are like as you fill up sections, if there are like rocket ships in there, you mark them off on it's like that's sort of the scoring thing on there is like there are a series of rocket ship, different rows of them, and you mark them off, and as you finish them, you get more points.
Okay.
But there are also rocket ships that haven't been activated, and you have to activate them with other sections. So it's like you're trying to prioritize some sections to fill other sections, and there are some benefits you can get marking X's of basically just filling blank spaces, and so you can like have a lot of cascading stuff like that's so clever. But
Okay.
it was,
I really liked Welcome to, like, when it first came out, I really liked it. And then it, like, rapidly for me transitioned into being a game I like to break out for, like, non-gamers.
Mhm.
Like, it's another one that's really easy to explain the core concept, and
Yeah.
I feel like most people can keep up. Like, obviously don't ever play with Andrew, because apparently he's, like, a super high ELO guy for playing it on BGA all the time. But I normally like that, like, it feels like one where there's not like a learning curve, like a newbie can play and like make reasonably good decisions and keep up with, at least feel competitive.
Right.
Like, they might lose, but they'll feel competitive. So I like to play those games with, like, not as much gamers, which is why I don't like to play them at game night anymore. It's like,
yeah.
we're all like gamers. We can play something like better. like
Wow.
more,
Wow. Okay.
like
I see how it is.
more, I don't know, more focused. Like, because I do like Welcome to. Like, I still own it. I take it when I go back to, like, visit Megan's family. Like, it's got an area where I like to play it, but that's not game night with a bunch of, like, board gamers my age, caliber, range of skill level. I don't know.
You're not. You haven't made it any better.
Not getting out of that hole.
No.
Just scrambling
No.
furiously.
Yeah,
besides
exactly.
pulling the dirt down on myself.
For me, if I want to play a flip and fill or a roll and write, I still cartographers is still that like, the best one
I've
for
been
me.
playing a lot of
Yeah.
cartographers lately. I still got to get my colored pencils.
You do. It helps it.
Dig up. Have you tried doing that?
I am. It's when you're in a hole and you're trying to dig up and you're just pulling the pit down on yourself.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm not getting any deeper, but I'm certainly not getting out.
I don't think there's anything else that I've been playing except for we did another round of Descent.
Yes.
That was on Sunday. Adrian could not join us,
No, because I worked.
like a fool.
Like somebody who enjoys money.
That's true.
Like somebody who needs money to exist in this fucking society that we built for ourselves.
That just sounds like a you problem.
Trust me, it's not just me.
Did you ever try being born rich?
No.
Oh.
In fact, I definitely was born poor. I started out on fucking hard mode.
So this one we got another 2 quests done on basically the 2 quests that we could do that didn't involve using one of our side characters that we never use.
Correct.
Oh, so at some point you're gonna like force me to come play with you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
again.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
we've played all the missions we can play without you.
Yes.
You need to come
Yeah,
join us
you
again.
need to join us on the next one. We have Cyrus and
Varix.
Varix. We have those missions for you.
Well, I'm free this weekend for the holidays.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go meet up with Megan for like a day, but
Gotcha. So the first one we did was a side quest. The last side quest we did involved trying to save the Witch of the Woods, and we fucked it up
Yes.
and died.
Mostly because like 12 enemies spawned at once or
Yes.
something.
dude, that one that's the only one Megan and I lost the entire time we played.
Yeah.
That one's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Well, it also didn't help that on that one, they just kept targeting like you.
Yeah, they just targeted me
Were
the
you-
whole time.
Who are you?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Keely?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They in the game we played, I was Cyrus and Varix. Megan was, I think, Bryn and Chance, and they just raffle stomped Chance into the
They
dirt.
didn't focus on me at all.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I even had a my feat that I was trying to do was not get a wound at the, like through a scenario, and there was only one chance where that could have happened, but they just kept focusing on like even if I was willing to take that wound, I didn't have a chance at that point because they just kept focusing on Kelly or who was Paul? What's the elf?
Galadin.
Both of them were heavily or the
Yeah.
extra wounded,
Heavy wounds.
heavy wounds, and I was
Not wounded
wounds.
once.
Yeah.
Did you lose from
Wounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
wounds? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That's how we lost it.
Yeah. But this one, I would say this was probably like the most intricate I've seen the board
Yeah.
in terms
You had
of
to like climb a tower.
Yeah.
yeah,
Super cool.
stacking on top of itself was cool. Yeah.
I think we're talking about different missions because the tower stacking mission I think we did win. There's maybe a
Which we
follow-up
did.
mission.
The the tower stacking was the following.
Yes, that's what I meant, yes.
Sorry, I
Apparently he
missed
stole
the transition.
Apparently he stole our shadows. We
Yes.
didn't even know that was a thing that was happening in that one we lost.
Yes.
Was it part of that mission, or was it just another thing that happened?
I don't know.
Okay,
I lost.
Yeah, no, I mean, even in that one, getting lost, is that where you stole our shadows, or was it? Like I was hypothesizing, maybe it was just a side.
A road event?
A road event or something where our shadows got stolen because I didn't remember.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I think it must have been in part of that scenario with the Witch of the Woods and stealing our shadows or something. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
I mean, it's easy to sometimes miss those when one of the people that you play with just doesn't care about reading any of the narrative events at all.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, the tower stacking
Paul.
one is really cool.
Yeah.
Because you're like pulling the levers
Yes.
and like.
Yep. Yeah. That one ended up going well. I had to get
Line of sight was weird.
Line
of
sight was
because you
weird.
could just you could be on a bottom floor and you could hit the top floor and it was just like, well, I'm in range and it's in line of sight, so
That's like over the course of the whole campaign, one of my few complaints about the system is like it never takes any kind of height into account, which is not great. But for everything else they did, it feels like they could have done because they have rules for like how high you can step up.
Yeah.
They could have had like that doubled as your like range.
Yeah.
height. I
Yeah.
don't know. All right, whatever. But the mission, go ahead.
Yeah.
but Paul was able to be like 2 floors down shooting the shit on the top floor
Yeah.
and just nuking it without having to like move up there.
Sounds like a classic Paul Archer move.
Yeah.
Bower.
Well, what's funny too is that one I had just finished getting my feat, and so I was like, you have to get a new feat, and it was like my final one, and it was just like, you got to kill 2 people with your knives on the same round, and I was like, when are we ever gonna get a chance to fucking do this?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the mission, two characters ended up being really low health, and I was just like, you fuckers, don't touch it. Don't
Paul
touch
was
it.
like, well, just let me shoot it once.
Yeah, and I was like, no, fuck you, Paul. Because it was like 10 health. Well, especially because he had a bow, or he had the string that was like a 5% chance of just like, oh, you attack him again and do the same amount of successes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't fucking have that
And
happen.
some of those feel like they trigger way more than 5%.
His 5% on his pommels,
Swords.
his swords that do double damage, it is not 5%.
Yeah.
But anyway, we succeeded at this one. And then our next one was a chance mission. We had to go check out the Outlaw Prince at the refuge. And
What'd you think of that one?
We had to check out the refugees at the refuge.
Yeah. It was funny. It was like Paul, at one point Paul walked away from the table, but he was just like, all right, just check on the front door. And like there's just 3 doors that are just nothing, none of them would ever be what you would describe
Considered
as
front.
the front door. He was just like, do the front door, and we're just like, what fucking door are you talking about? And so we're like, we'll do this right door, and we did it, and it was just like, you need a password, and we're like, oh, okay. So then we had to go figure those out, and it was funny. Like you kept having like maneuver stuff to unlock things, and getting dropped off into like a room, and then there was a bunch of enemies appeared, and I'm like, well, no one else is around, so I guess this is up to me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
I spent a lot of my turns just moving 3 times.
Yeah.
And doing nothing most of the scenario.
Yeah.
I thought the final fight in that one was kind of cool.
It was, yeah. Especially because, did you go Independence or the other one for chance?
I think we went more independent.
That's the one I did too. That ended up getting me like an extra action for the remaining. Yeah, so I was like we could have just one shot him,
Oh yeah.
we could have just killed him in one round.
Yes.
Even because Paul was doing a shitload of damage. I could do a shitload of damage. All of our weapons are upgraded, like on both sides. The only thing that isn't upgraded is Jeff's mana weave right now.
Yeah.
And so we're able to deal the damage if we need to. With that extra action, it was immediately like, oh, that confrontation. I was like, I'm going to go to this door underneath here that's clearly where we need to go. And then, go in there and there's a bunch of chests. And it's like, aha, loot everything. So
And they looted everything.
we looted everything. So we have a shitload of money.
We looted everything, but it took like somebody like kiting him around because we weren't able to like kill him in a round. It took us like 3 rounds.
Gotcha.
They also didn't finish off the rest of the enemies, so they were all still there.
Oh.
And so then I just ran to the back and spent all 3 of my actions moving into the rear to just not die because I was already heavily wounded
Yeah.
at that point.
Okay.
I told you, man, you should have gotten the feat about being heavily wounded. You would have just been. You could have.
And
just,
then I have to like attack 4 times.
it's
or
only
something.
like 3 times on that one.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
More
is
actions than what I can do in one round.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
So
then
spend a couple
survive.
rounds
It is.
with
I will say it is
heavily
funny
wounded.
that Kelly's their feats seem so much harder than other people, or just the amount of time you have to spend on shit. Like mine was just I had to kill a bandit with my sword, like my claw,
And that was like your second to last one.
yeah, yeah. But he was just like I have to hit undamaged people 6 times.
Yeah.
It's like
Or I have to shoot the same enemy with my crossbow twice 5 times.
Yep.
I have to spend at least 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of reasons I didn't like Kelly, and basically she was the only one that we only played on her required missions. Like, Megan liked Chance enough that she regularly rotated her 3 of Chance, Galadin, and Bryn, and then me, I was just all Varix and Cyrus all the time, except for when I fucking had to play Kelly.
Mm.
We also never got upgrades for her, which, I mean, we never played as her, so it might be a little bit of like...
self-fulfilling.
Kind of like when I come over to play Cyrus, and I'm like, oh, great, I have nothing, and you have
I will say
everything.
this. The last couple missions where we were trying to be like, all right, we'll buy any of the stuff that Cyrus needs. It just we're like, we had a narrative event and we're like, okay, we're going to refresh it, and anything that we can get for Cyrus or Varix, we'll get it. And it was just like, do you want more Chance and Galadin stuff? Because here you go. And we're just like,
nothing for me at all.
yeah. And we're just like, I mean, yeah, buy, upgrade.
Wild.
It's nice stuff.
Wild.
Yeah, it's still fun. Still enjoying it.
Yeah.
It is nice going. We have the 3 XP, so we've been.
That's you start to feel so powerful because like you
Yeah.
can run like 3 skills, or you can run like a 2 and a 1.
Yeah.
I really want expansions with the base set, like just that take the like longer, deeper, like to where you can get like 4 or 5 XP, so you can rock like 2 level 2s and a level 1.
Right.
Like, that'd be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
All of your level 1s.
I do always find it funny as Chance whenever I get, because I think it happened twice where it was like, hey, it's not prepare, but it's the other one that gives you the dice. Focus. It's like focus all of your cards. And I was like, great. As someone who is flipping all of my cards fucking all of the time and not re-rolling because it's the blue die, you usually get what you want, like for the most part. That it's like a lot of it was just like, I wasted that one. I wasted that one.
Yeah.
Paul did make some delicious Oklahoma onion burgers, though.
They were good.
Yeah.
Even though the cheese was not.
That's true. The cheese was. I didn't even realize that it was trying to go for American cheese.
Was that the organic stuff
Yes.
that you
Yeah,
bought?
yeah.
Okay.
It tasted like cheese.
there was
but-
there was enough onion and other stuff on there that
Okay.
the cheese was not the main component.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of burgers, quick like brief detour into Banter.
I mean, we're done. I'm done with my stuff.
Well, all right, Jeff, you can do yours, and then I know what I'm going to start Banter off with is burger talk.
So I wandered into Cohesion Brewing on Friday after work, and found 2 of my coworkers there with like 3 of their compatriots trying to learn Root.
Coworkers from
Avery.
in Boulder.
Yes.
That one.
Yes.
At Cohesion.
At Cohesion.
Playing Root. Learning Root.
Okay. All right.
None had played. None had learned to play.
You need to give all of them my phone number and tell them that Root is one of my favorite games, and I'm always looking for more
And
people
so
to play.
I taught them Root as much as I could. There is a nice like 2-round like hand-holdy walkthrough.
Yeah. That's like a big thing with him. He did the same thing for Oath. Like everybody plays a turn and does like a very different strategy thing so that like you see what all the different things you can do are, and then you go nuts.
Yeah. The Vagabond like fucking annihilated everyone.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. It was like
Vagabond's strong.
30 to 10, and someone played a dominance card and was not.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, as cats.
Oh no.
Yeah. Woodland Alliance was doing well. I don't really. They get most of their points from like nuking spots, though.
Kind
right?
of, yeah. Woodland Alliance is a weird one for me. I regularly get absolutely destroyed by other people playing Woodland Alliance. But whenever I play Woodland Alliance, I'm laughably incompetent. So I don't understand them
'Cause
at
You
all.
have to smash them.
Because you have to outrage when you move into a location with supporters or whatever, or not
Yeah.
supporters.
They're little like it's like support tokens.
Yeah.
You move in with their little fists, and you have to
Yeah.
give them cards. If
And
you
then
send
when you
troops in.
attack it, you also have to give them another card.
And they like you roll and you get the lesser of like they always get,
they choose the high. They choose first.
always choose the high die. I think that's part of the problem, like you said, is you have to stomp them early and often, and everyone is more than willing to stomp
you.
me early and often. Whereas like other times, like the people who play Woodland Alliance is someone like Megan, and everyone's like, I don't know, Megan, like we know she's a really good gamer, but also like she doesn't seem like a threat right now. And it's like, oh fuck, we're fucked.
No.
It's far too late.
just gotta look at them. Nothing personal, kid.
Yeah. Yeah, they ended up with like 4 officers or something like that, which was nice. Because they could just go and like move a warrior and then just turn that into one of their tokens for points. Yeah.
When they get on a roll, man. Whew.
But Vagabond was just like got like 2 top tier allies going.
Yeah, they can.
And they got like 12 points off of that, or
Yeah.
18 points in one round or something nuts.
Yeah, and they're one like if they play smart and like nobody again, if they're another one that plays sneaky, like if nobody fucks them up early.
People
Yeah.
like,
People
oh,
are
how
like,
many?
no, I'm happy to trade.
Yeah.
I'm happy to get like
Yeah.
some stuff in exchange. And then it's like, oh wait, what? You just got 18 points? All right, we have to beat him up. Wait, oh, he's hiding in the woods and we can't do anything?
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. God, I love Root. I want to play more Root.
Yeah. I did not play Root, but I taught. I stayed for the entire game
I was
be able to help
wondering
them
about
through
that
Root.
message because the message I feel like there was like maybe a typo in it or something, but it was something about like you and Root and cohesion, and I was
Yeah.
like, that is a weird sentence that
Yeah.
I did not expect.
Also, to bring back the final Gen Con game that we forgot to talk about.
Oh God, week 3 of Gen Con coverage. 4 weeks after Gen Con.
yeah.
We played Super-Skill Pinball, which is the roll and write pinball game, and we tried learning one of the like other maps, and we're like, no, we're going back to the base map so we can actually know how to play this game.
Yep.
Because there was no walkthrough for any of the other maps at all, and there was only like a how-to on the base map, which was like some sort of weird clown carnival.
Yeah.
But you have a little ball, and there's
Little
three
ball.
there's 3 sectors, top, middle, and bottom, and you roll the dice. Your ball goes to the top, and it goes through 3 chutes, and then depending on the die you choose for that level, it will like fill one of the chutes. If you like, then it falls down into the bumpers, and you're kind of going in a circle, and you're filling in
Specific numbers.
specific numbers. Like it'll be 2 and 4 and 6 and 3 and 1 and 5. And there's 4 on each of the bumpers, and you can go in a circle if you keep getting those numbers over and over again. And whenever they fill, you get to wipe them and just kind of keep going, and you get points.
Yeah. You get a
every
point.
time you do that.
Yep.
But once you can't do that, you fall down again, and then you get to the flippers, and so then you have different routes on the flippers that are also dice, and depending on the dice number you choose is whether you're going kind of through like out of the game, which is the far right and the far left on your pinball, through the little chute between the bumper and the out, or right onto the flippers themselves. And depending on what die you do, you can go to the right side for red or left side for yellow, or yellow and whatever side, whatever. Red can take you up to like the middle area, and you can hit like the little side points thingies.
Okay.
And then you can go up this little chute that if you keep going higher and higher and higher on it, it gives you like a big point bonus at the end if you get hit it just multiple times. But if you hit the little, I don't know, those little plastic square things that would like drop down every time you hit them in like a traditional pinball game, if you get all of them, you get perks and there's 3 perks on either side. The yellow shoots you all the way back up to the top, and that's where you can go through the chutes at the very top again. Once you get all 3 of those, you can actually like bank a number.
Okay.
And then you can use that number later for when you would be like, oh, we didn't get a 2 or a 1 and only a 6 and a 5. in the flippers sends me out into my next ball, but I've banked this one, boom, now I can go back up again. There's multi-balls that you can get where you're moving. It just doubles your score.
Yeah.
There's not actually like multiple balls going at the same time.
There are. I mean, it can go to 2.
Oh yeah.
But it's not like 3 or 4 or 5.
But it also doubles whatever points that each one of those balls is doing. I hit the like top of the like chute, like 20 points that doubled into 40. That was nice. That felt good. Zach bottomed out
pretty early,
pretty fast. And I was still on my second ball after he had gone out after his third ball.
Because what happens is you can try and tilt.
And that lets you fudge a number up or down.
But if you then on the next roll, if you have to get higher than whatever that number. So say the number is like, this is a 4 and you want to make it a 3, and then you tilt 1 and then you roll the dice. And as long as the difference between those two is at least your number, then so it like if it's a 1, if you roll a 3 and a 4, the difference between those is 1. You're fine.
Okay.
If you roll 2 doubles,
you can't roll the same. You can't roll a double. Basically,
doubles got rolled when I did it, so it was a 0. I tilted on like early on into my second thing because I tried to be a little squirrely and it failed hard. And fast.
You rolled a double.
Yeah, I rolled a double on that and it fell out, and then I was like, well, I'm fucked now.
Yeah. And I had been destroying him so hard on the score that we just called it and I won.
I really like that it feels fitting for a pinball roll and write. That it's a roll and write with player elimination, essentially.
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
So
that was the last of the Gen Con shenanigans.
Okay. Did you have any other actual board games you want to talk about? Well, not actual, but like...
I played Subastral and did bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
All right.
I think.
All right, so moving into banter, speaking of cheeseburgers. So I worked this weekend. I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, shift work. I'm in a weird position where I am like currently serving as like interim manager for Blue Team, and I have been for a long time. Like I picked Blue Team, like assuming I get this manager position, I'll like be the manager of Blue Team. The manager,
is like your main competition, Red Team.
No, Blue and Red actually get along great. We're Purple Team.
Fuck the Reds.
Yeah,
we joke about being Purple Team. I mean, I normally would not like Red, but Purple works for me, so I'm okay being Purple Team.
Okay.
But as soon as, because right now we're on the same shift, so we're Purple Team. Once we split and they're legit Red Team, fuck them.
Okay. Good.
So my old manager who just quit.
Nothing like the higher ups just pitting the lowers against each other.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My old manager who was kind of like a mentor to me and really like helped me along on this whole like process. He left recently. He was the manager of Red Team. So now I'm managing like both teams. Purple Team. I straight up told like the upper management, we get $150 per team monthly food budget. So like you can go out and buy $150 worth of food for your team per month. So I was like, hey, this is the first weekend that anybody's working. Like Kroger's not on site. Like no one's on site but us. I was like, just so you guys know, I'm going to take the guys out for like long lunches both days. Like Red Team's buying for everybody on Saturday. Blue Team's buying it for everybody on Sunday. Especially because like our teams, Red and Blue Teams are both way short, like staffed compared to the others. They're basically one team.
Gotcha.
Worth of people. We went to a place that I'd never heard of, but it is apparently a thing called Fat Burger.
Yes. I've heard of this.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yes.
Like, they're good.
Yeah.
They're real good. Like 7 dudes racked up like $170 bill though, so they're not necessarily cheap.
No.
But goddamn, they were big, juicy, greasy, cheesy, fantastic.
Did you go to the one in like Aurora?
I think there is only one.
Okay.
Because we work out at the airport.
Yeah.
So it's like a 15-minute drive from.
Then that sounds about right. Yeah.
Job site. Yeah. So good. Had never heard of them. So you talking about like Paul making the really good burgers. I also like shortly before Megan went on her hike, left for her hike last week, I grilled burgers and they were like fucking delicious. They were real good. Megan was like, I don't understand why you always want to go out and eat cheeseburgers when like legitimately the best burgers I have had are all ones you've made here. And I was like, yeah, but like that takes like time and attention and effort.
Yeah.
Like I don't like I make a really good cheeseburger because I'm not like some just generic dad like flipping crusty like pre-patty like I make a good burger, but it takes time and effort, and I don't always want to do time and effort. Sometimes I just want to pay someone $20 to have them make me a really good burger.
Yeah.
And Fatburger did that.
I want to say when I had them, like I saw on there that they put like relish on there instead of like pickles, and I was like, that's weird. And then I ate it, and I was like, oh, okay, this works. Like I was surprised how well that worked on it.
They had it for. I ended up getting. They had a limited time Shroom and Swiss that I went for because I really like Shroom and Swiss burgers. So I went for that. So I didn't get the traditional one with the relish and everything.
Yeah.
But I was on the fence about the relish too, looking at it.
Like
and I
I
saw
said,
the mushroom Shroom and Swiss, and I was like, great, now I don't have a dilemma
there you
anymore.
go.
I'm just going to get that. Sunday, for the record, we went to Torchy's, which is also an easy place for 6 people to rack up a $150 bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that was nice.
It was all 7 of you just in your truck. Said some people.
No, we did split into 2 vehicles.
Okay, all right.
You're riding in the bed.
Yep.
We've joked about doing that, but I don't know how the Aurora PD handles that kind
Well,
of thing.
no
go
way
down
to know.
70 at fucking 75 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
I'm sorry, I don't remember the last time I ever got to drive 70 miles an hour on I-70.
Towards the
Denver
airport,
city
I'm
limits.
sure.
Maybe
after the airport.
after Pena, when everybody exits to go to the airport.
Yeah. You work in Western Kansas,
I still
right?
take Pena, unfortunately. So I still take all the airport traffic. So Megan is on the Colorado Trail.
Yep.
That's a good bantery thing to talk about. I dropped her off last Tuesday down in Waterton, or Wednesday. It ended up being Wednesday morning. She wanted to leave Tuesday, but didn't. Dropped her off in Waterton Canyon, which is way down south. She hiked 70 or so miles over the last 5-ish days. Met up with her today. Like I mentioned at the top, I think a little bit. I don't know if that was on the actual recording or if that was all during the pre-show banter.
Pre-show, I think.
But I drove out to meet up with her because she had some major foot pain in her left foot, which then she was avoiding. So then she tweaked her right knee, and she's like, "Fuck, I'm only a week into this 4 to 5 week backpacking trip. That sucks. I hope this doesn't ruin my trip." And then she's like, "Hey, I'm going to take a day off. If you want to come meet me, and then also maybe drive me to the REI in Dillon so that I can get some new insoles and some athletic tape to tape up my knee." I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." So I drove up there. We got breakfast in Alma. Cool little weird hippie mountain town. That's one of the things I love about Colorado. And she said she stayed in a hostel in Alma, and she was talking to one of the people who lives in Alma. They're like, "Oh yeah, Alma's the hippie town. Literally 5 minutes down the road is Fairplay." And they're like, "Yeah, that's the very conservative cowboy town." And there's definitely tension between the two towns. And I love that about some of those mountain towns in Colorado is you never know what kind of general vague feeling the mountain town's gonna be. It could be a bunch of really crusty, bitter 3 generations deep Colorado mountain guys, or it could be a super hippie stoner enclave. You just never know. Had a wonderful breakfast in Alma. It was a open-faced biscuit with a ham, bacon, which is basically the same thing, sausage.
What sort of magical animal do you think all of these different materials come from?
Ham, bacon, sausage, egg, frittata on top of the open-faced biscuit, covered in sausage gravy and French fries, they were tater
fries,
tots, or
okay.
chopped up hash, chopped potato hash browns, not hash browns.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit! It was good though. It's real good. That was the extent of today. I'm gonna work on my truck tomorrow. I'm very excited. First project on the new Tacoma.
Gotta get those nuts on there.
Yep.
Not truck nuts. I'm installing a front camera. And then a switch that lets me switch the rear camera on and the front camera on anytime I want, instead of the rear is just in reverse normally. So it lets me turn it on whenever I want, which would be nice. For the front camera is going to be real nice because as much as I love my Tacoma, I really hate how even Toyota has gotten caught up into the general American trend of trucks just getting stupid fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
I parked next to a Tundra from 10 years ago, and the modern Tacomas are the size of the old Tundras.
I was gonna say I remember seeing those 80s or 90s Tacomas, and there's a very different truck.
Yeah, the Tacoma my dad bought in 2001 is a very different vehicle than the Tacoma I bought in 2022.
Yep.
But it makes it hard to park. I was trying to park in Alamo the other day, and it was one of those where it's all right, Megan, I'm going to have you get, because we got out, And I was like, oh shit, like the back end of my truck is sticking like 6 feet into the it was the Sloan's Lake one, so that little parking lot. It was like,
yeah.
oh, somebody's gonna fucking hit that.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, Megan, you're gonna have to jump out and like guide me as close as I can get.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna install a front camera so I can also just really get tied up on somebody in a parking lot, or like know when I'm about to hit a wall when I'm parking, like at literally as close as I can.
Or you could just know how your car feels, and then
I'm getting there, but it's also really useful for like off-roading, which we do intend to do a bunch of off-roading in this. So it's nice to be able to like see.
Yeah.
Because like it turns out when you're going up a hill and then all your hood is in front of your vision, it's like, I don't know. I saw it 5 minutes ago when I was approaching, but I'm not sure where it's at now.
Uh-huh.
But it's a fun little mod. I'm looking forward to doing it.
Nice.
That's most of my banter.
I watched the 25th anniversary South Park anniversary concert that they did out in Red Rocks.
Oh shit!
The 2-day event.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing until I happened to just see that it was going to be on Paramount. So I was like, yeah.
So you didn't go?
No, I didn't
was
go.
like, it wasn't sold out by the time you learned about it.
Didn't even,
I had a bunch of coworkers go, mostly because of Primus, or not Primus.
What, Ween?
Well, no, it was Primus and someone.
It wasn't Primus. It was the guy from Primus, or was it
No,
actually
it was Primus was there.
It was Primus.
Okay. Primus was there. Ween was there.
I was thinking that there was another show that same coworker went to that was
gotcha.
just the guy from Primus.
No. Les Claypool?
Yes, he saw a Les Claypool show and then saw Primus.
Oh, okay.
And then Ween. But most of my coworkers were there because of Ween.
Yeah.
Because they're a bunch of jam band fucking...
Do they listen to the podcast? Are they going to be insulted that you call them jam
I don't know.
band
Probably
fucking
not.
hippies?
No one that is one of those jam band hippies is listening to this podcast.
Lance.
No.
Lance, who
coworkers,
well,
that
yeah.
is one of those jam band
You
hippies.
did say coworker.
No.
Because Lance is definitely one of those jam band, and I'm
absolutely.
sure he would embrace that.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go have himself 4 days at Dick's here around the corner.
Yeah,
I think that's this weekend. Fish at Dick's.
Oh, fish at Dick's.
Yep.
Because I know
good old fish sticks.
Because another one of our weird game friends from around here, Mitch, is currently at Burning Man.
Yes, that is happening.
Which is also.
But he makes shit for that. So.
Well, I mean, that's not all he does.
I know.
Fingers crossed. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
I would want to go there and do as expensive as drugs as possible.
Yeah. Like he makes like a bunch of like that metal metal shit that
there was someone
and shit.
It's fire. Burning Man, yeah.
Burns
men.
I helped someone across the street in a parking lot from Epic pre-set up their geodesic dome, like their dry run for Burning Man one time.
Burning Man's such a weird thing. Like, there's a part of me that really wants to go, but there's a part of me that knows that no matter how much I want to think I could enjoy Burning Man, it would be like my nightmare. Like, I am not nearly...
It's super expensive. It's like $1,000 just to, like, be able to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not to mention, like, you have to take... they have a fairly cool community, but, like, you can't just show up and bum off everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you got to bring, like, a lot
You got to
of
be
fucking
fairly...
gear.
You haven't been to enough fish shows, sir.
Well, Burning Man's not a fish show.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of wooks there, god damn it.
But anyway, the South Park show.
Did anybody hear about... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Go ahead. Because there's something else that goes along with Burning Man, but I'll come back to it. I'll circle back.
It was good. It was a lot. It's like an hour and a half long. You can actually just watch it on YouTube for free, I think.
Cool.
If you like...
It was also 2 days, so which day was it?
I think it's the second day.
Okay.
I think the first day was like the dry run, and then the second... and I'm sure they get like videotape both. Maybe they used a little bit of each, but it seems like mainly the second day was where they had a lot of stuff.
I see.
Like
one of the dudes from Rush was there, I think.
Yes.
At one point.
Oh wow.
Yeah. For Matt's birthday, they like got them to play one of the songs. It was cool.
Just being able to be like, hey, it's my birthday. Like,
well,
can
he
one of
know.
the guys from Rush come play? Well, to have friends.
Well, Rush
who are
isn't
like,
going to be Rush anymore.
They already weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically not.
Yeah. So there was like they were just
Still,
like reunion just for that. Yeah.
Still though.
Yeah. Which I mean that part was cool, but also they are 100% their 70-plus-year-oldness that they are.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. They did like I said, they did a lot of their songs, particularly they did a rendition of Gay Fish that was very good. And you can just watch that too on South Park as well, or on YouTube.
Neat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Burning Man.
So Burning Man reference. Did anybody ever hear, like, how did The Gathering turn it. Did
I have no
did,
idea.
Did they super fuck everything? Because everybody was
No
up in
idea.
arms about the Gathering coming to Colorado and
I have
how
no
they were
idea.
going to like destroy the mountains.
Is that the Insane Clown Posse?
No, it's similar.
Okay.
It's another one. Like it's often compared to Burning Man, but Burning Man has the decency to go out in the middle of the goddamn desert where there's nothing alive, so they don't destroy an ecosystem. Whereas like the Gathering people were like going up by like, I don't know, somewhere up by Steamboat. Yeah, and
okay.
like people were worried they were like going on to like national forest that was like already damaged from overuse, and they weren't filing permits, and they were going to bring like 50,000 fucking people. And
Gotcha.
everyone back at I first heard about it back in like February, March, and everybody's like, you know, we nearly burned our entire state to the ground the last 2 years. Like, don't do this.
Yeah.
You're going to burn our state to the ground. But then, like, this is also, Megan and I were talking about this today. This has been a really, like,
it has.
fire-free
Yeah.
year, knock on wood. Like, driving around in the mountains today, it was like, the mountains are still, like, really green. Like, there's, like, wildflowers and
Yeah.
mushrooms out. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because we've been getting a lot of rain.
Yeah.
No,
Which
we
is
had the
weird.
the one fire at the end of last year, and then I think the ecosystem was like, "Oof, all right, let's calm down a little bit."
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
But we drove along Lake Dillon, going from Breck to Dillon. Lake Dillon's real low.
Oh, I'm sure.
So getting a lot of rain, but it's not restocking those water supplies.
Yeah, not like snow does. Yeah.
Yes.
You got anything, Jeff?
Yes.
That isn't F1.
No.
I mean, but also I do have
Okay.
I do have Formula One.
Okay, I didn't know if that's what
So
you were.
I mean, you said that we didn't record last week because you were working.
Oh yeah, there was another reason we didn't record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because I was in excruciating pain for 3
Nah,
days.
way to push. Well, Zach and I would maybe have done an episode without you. We've done that before.
I had chipped a tooth on Friday, and then it was after
What?
we went to the Nashville
What did you chip it on?
chips and salsa. Yeah.
Chip.
I love.
I mean,
the,
it makes
I love
it's
the
in
irony
the name.
of
Yeah. The salsa
chipping
just
on
really,
chips.
Mm-hmm.
Would you describe the pain as spicy?
No. I take spicy pain any day over the amount of pain I was in all weekend. My coworkers have officially renamed me Pill-Free.
Is this because you're popping a lot of pills?
Yes.
Or because
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
aren't popping pills.
Well,
You're
or
pill
because
free.
or because you're pilfering. Like pill.
Yeah, are you
free
also
is
a
like-
thief?
Oh, I mean,
Were you pilfering pills?
sometimes you need more pills, and you got to pilfer the pills.
I mean, I will say this as a kid. I was chewing a brownie and I knocked a tooth out. So sometimes
Bonus.
Sometimes teeth are just weird that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were like a child. These are like baby teeth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those just fucking fall out
Yeah.
if you look at them wrong.
Got hit with the face with a koosh ball and also knocked one out.
Meanwhile, I had one for a while that I could turn like almost horizontal as a kid that just still wasn't coming out. I mean, it probably would have if I'd yanked on it, but I was averse to pain.
Gross.
So yeah, I Saturday and Sunday, it was just a lot of ibuprofen and Tylenol.
How well did that help?
It was okay.
Okay.
But it would really hurt until like 40 minutes later, and then it would last like 30 minutes, and then it would start hurting again, and then I would have to wait another like 3 hours before I could take more.
did
I
you
was
try
trying
and
to time that for going to sleep. To be like, I need to get that 30
Yes.
minutes so I can sleep. And
yeah. I did, and then I would wake up halfway through the middle of the night
And be like,
all right, jam more pain pills in my face.
I was going to ask if you've totally like violated the maximum dosage of Tylenol and Advil and like put your liver in danger.
I don't think I did until Sunday night. The ibuprofen, I was just kind of
Just
like
a whole bottle.
No, I was just like, all right, we're taking 600 on this dose and not like 400 because it's like 400 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Do
no,
not exceed 2,400 in a 24-hour period.
no,
There are
it's like 1,200 or something.
I was going to
on
say,
the bottle.
whenever I truly need it, it's definitely I'm taking 800 at like
Yeah.
a dose.
Yeah, so I was taking 600 at most.
Oh.
Three pills, and then 1,000 of Tylenol.
Should have went and got yourself some Bayer. You could have had all of them: ibuprofen,
Yeah,
acetaminophen, and actual aspirin.
I did break into
Someone's codeine supply? Did you?
No, I had an emergency supply from when I broke my leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was about 2 years old, but
So not as good as it was, but
I'd never really used it when I had it back then, and after the first or second day. But it was also it was Oxy and Tylenol in the same. So that's what I took, and I actually slept one night when I took that.
I bet.
Yeah. And then I got it looked at Monday, and they were like, "All right, here's a fresh pill bottle of Percocet," and I was like, "Fuck yes."
So when you had it looked at
Pilbo bag.
Monday.
You had it Monday, and they were like Tuesdays when they got it out, or
yes.
Okay.
So they were like, "Well, the chip is so close to the gum that we can send you and see if they can do a root canal, and then they can do like a crown or implant or whatever. But if there's not enough there because you're borderline, it's like it could be like 1.8 millimeter, it could be almost 2, but we need 2, and maybe they'll get you in later this week. And then if they can't do it, they're going to send you back to us, and that'll be next week. Or we can do this other plan, which was rip that fucker out of there, and then put a donor bone in there. It's kinda
Cadaver.
like cadaver bone.
Probably
Pack
a
that
butt
in
bone. I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, ass bone.
Yeah.
Pack that in there instead of it just being a
Empty.
gap because then you're fucked.
Yeah,
there's
you don't
there's no tooth going back in
what
there.
is that called? Open. Oh fuck.
Dry socket.
Dry socket. You
Yeah.
don't want that
Because you can get that
sucks.
when you get your wisdom teeth
Yep.
taken
Yeah.
out.
But I mean, they can just take it out and not do that, and then they have to do a whole bunch of other shit to get another tooth in there.
Mm-hmm.
But this will give them a platform once it solidifies.
Sorry, guys. Mike Jones just joined in chat. We need to start over from the
All right.
top.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome. No.
So yeah, that came out Tuesday morning. It was supposed to be like 3 p.m. Monday, and they were like called me up at 1 o'clock and were like, "Hey, we've got a spot at like 1:30 if you want to come in." And I was like, "Hey,
The
boss,
earliest-
I'm getting the fuck out of here. Bye. Like,
Yeah.
good luck for the rest of the day." And then 9 a.m. the next day, got in there. Oh, they had a fancy like weird CT X-ray thing that would like move around your head to do the X-ray.
Huh. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it was weird. But it was definitely like a CT because it had like the layer in there that they could move and like move the X-ray
Ooh.
around and stuff. Yeah, spare no expense because it was $1,800 fucking dollars to be able to get all this done.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Is that with dental? Do you have dental?
I do have
Okay.
dental, but it's more of a like rebate. Like I'll get like money back to me after it goes through insurance, but
Oh.
you pay it all up front.
Oh,
and
that's
then,
weird.
Yeah,
That's not how my dental
That's not
insurance
how mine works either.
Fuck that.
Delta Dental.
Oh.
I mean,
No,
that's who
I
I
used
have,
to. I
but
used to
mine
have
doesn't.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, here's your charge, and we'll work on your insurance. And I was like, okay.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's when you just start sprinting.
There's no way I'll know where I work.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, are they going to go all the way to Avery?
Yeah, 9 minutes up the road.
Nope.
Yeah, so that's been my trial. So now I have one less tooth, sutures, and waiting to get those out. And it's annoying.
Have you had to not do certain things?
No straws.
No straws. Yep.
Yep.
No.
Just like wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
Well, it's mostly because you don't want to suck out all of the corpse bone that they packed into your...
Which is weird. I wouldn't like it. Weird to me that it works that way.
I mean, it makes sense just because I know my mom had so many fucking dental surgeries and like trying to get implants in her jaw that they like kept not working. And it's like, you need bone there because once that bone starts going, it's really hard to fucking do anything.
Yeah.
And
Like
you-
a third of the cost was like getting that in there.
but bones are expensive.
Bones, yes,
Yeah.
especially donor bone.
Yep.
Especially specifically from the butt.
From a butt. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ass bone.
Ass bone. Yeah.
And there was Formula One yesterday.
And there's been is
Oh,
it
yeah.
drama? Is anybody like the whole Danny Ricciardo thing? Is that
So-
is that
so-
considered drama in the
so-
F1 community?
Vettel announced his retirement, which
Ooh.
made a seat open up at Aston Martin, which Fernando Alonso moved over into that seat. But Alpine is a significantly better team, so everyone was wondering why he went to a worse team. It's probably because they weren't going to renew his contract and he still wanted to drive, and this was a guaranteed way for him to be able to do that.
Okay.
And so then they announced, it's like, oh, we've got this big hot shit up-and-comer rookie. He's going to be driving for us next year. And then that rookie came out and said, no, I'm not. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And now there's like this whole contract, like today they went into like this contract court that they have about like they've invested all of this money into his career because he was like an Alpine school driver. And now he's just going to be like, no, I'm going to go drive for someone else. Fuck you. And then they're going to be like, well, we want all of our fucking money back. And that will be the rulings from today if those come out within the next week or so. And then Daniel Ricciardo has been super underperforming at McLaren, which everyone thinks that McLaren is trying to scalp Oscar Piastri, the hot shit rookie, to take over that seat. But then Daniel Ricciardo doesn't have anywhere to go. Alpine probably doesn't want him because he was at Renault, which is now Alpine, and left Alpine for McLaren.
I didn't realize Alpine was Renault.
Yes. And so they probably don't want him back because he fucked them over.
Yeah.
And then did worse at McLaren.
Yeah, he did.
So that leaves Ricciardo like AlphaTauri, which is like the junior Red Bull team, which is like and because Pierre Gasly might go to Alpine, which is a French team, and he's French.
Sure.
Or that kicks
someone named Pierre is French.
Or that kicks Ricciardo all the way down to Williams, which is not doing great.
Poor Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It's always the hot seat of drivers markets. And then the race was interesting because this was the first race after summer break, and everyone took a fuckload of penalties for more engine parts. And so, like, everyone was starting at the back of the grid. There was, like, 6 people with back-of-the-grid starts, which meant whoever qualified, the worst they could do was 14th, because the other 6 had to start at the back of the fucking grid.
Oh, my God.
So Verstappen still qualified. Did 1 lap in the final qualifying, still got the top time. Usually top times come right at the end. He was out of the car. Like, I'm just going to do a lap. It doesn't matter if I'm pole or whatever. Still got fucking pole. No one could beat his fucking time off his 1 fucking lap. He was out of the car in the pits. Like, he didn't have to, like, jump out after qualifying. It was in the garage. They had to get it out of the garage and roll it back to where, like, the first, second, third, like, pole shit was, to where they show off the cars, because he wasn't in the fucking car anymore. Because he was already, like, it's like, well, I'm just going to start tomorrow, I guess. Oh, fuck, I still got pole off my one shitty, like, meh, I'm just going to try whatever lap. Like, a fucking monster. And so everyone started at the back, and everybody thought it was going to be a super fun, like, reverse grid sort of thing. And Max was, like, up to 8th place within, like, 4 laps or something like that from 14th. And it still won the fucking race.
Jesus
from
Christ.
14th. The first time someone has won a race 2 times in a row since 1959 from starting from more than 10th place.
Okay. I was waiting. I was like, somebody's got to have won 2 races.
Oh, yeah,
No,
absolutely. But
never.
What?
but
crazy.
from 10th or beyond.
Okay.
Yes. And there's another race this weekend. It's a triple header. This last Sunday, next Sunday, Sunday after that.
I like how in racing triple header is just like 3 weekends in a row, whereas like other sports triple header is like 3 days in a row.
They would die. Well, they do. They do practice 1, practice 2, Friday, practice 3, qualifying Saturday, race Sunday.
Well, I think it's funny, like, just how different sports are, because, like, I was talking to some people who are, like, predominantly football fans back when the hockey playoffs were going on, and they were like, man, how crazy would it be, like, if football did, like, a best-of-5 series for the Super Bowl? And I was like, you couldn't do it. Like, everyone would be fucking dead after game 2.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that.
No.
Like, half of getting to the Super Bowl in the NFL is, like, having the healthiest team. Like, you're just hoping. Like, such weirdly different sports. Meanwhile, baseball just plays, like, fucking 400 games because who cares? Oh, my God. UFC used to be so wild. Like, so much of UFC. They used to do... There used to be...
They
like,
have enough of a body count to be able to do it.
Well, no, some of their old... Like, the original UFC fights were tournaments. So you would fight...
Oh,
like,
shit.
to figure out who... Like, and because that was back in the day, like, the original, like, kind of premise for UFC was, like, the legitimate, like, who would win in a fight? A sumo wrestler or a karate master?
Yeah.
And, like, fuck weight classes, fuck it all. So it'd just be a big open tournament with, like, 16 dudes of different disciplines. And so you'd have to win, like, 4 or 5 fights in, like, a long weekend. to be the UFC champion of like UFC 1. It was
also
fucking
you could
nuts.
you could just fucking rail people in the nuts
That, like,
just over and over.
Like,
and over.
Yeah, like literally one of the only rules was like no biting, no eye gouging. That's it. Everything else is like totally legit.
I had seen
you could pull hair, you could grab clothes, you could punch dicks.
I had seen a lengthy video of someone that just had someone in this weird lock, but it just let him just
nuts.
just just over
Pass.
and over. Just just fucking.
Well, now I don't want to do UFC anymore. Because I can't do that.
Because you can't do that. Sorry, I'm gonna punch a dick. I mean, they've had a no eye gouging rule since literally UFC 1. But John Jones got away with eye gouging for his entire fucking career.
Sure, yeah.
So if you're good enough, they'll let you punch dicks, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do it real classy like.
They'll be like, oh no, that was an accidental low blow.
Yeah.
He did it 10 times in a row. No.
He picked the guy up, turned it upside down, and then just
started fucking
hammer punched.
just get that real pointy elbow right in.
I chose a bad time to take a sip of beer.
That would that I wouldn't want no.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
It would be bad. Yes.
Oh my God.
At some point they'd probably just go numb.
At some point they'd fucking rupture. Then you've got legit medical problems.
I mean, but if they were numb when they did it.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't be the first UFC guy to go directly from the ring to an emergency room.
Yeah.
One of the hooks from the Formula One race, Hamilton was out in lap 1 because he cut in over on Alonso, fucking launched his car like end up, almost flipped forward over, but was just down enough to where it went up and then slammed down. Probably destroyed his whole fucking engine because you could see oil and shit coming out. Verstappen was behind and got oil on his visor. They have little tear-offs. Threw out his tear-off, went into fucking the Ferrari's brake duct, which caused overheating, which mean he had to pit so they could get it off, and then he went back out, ruining that dude's race.
Ouch.
Just because his fucking little plastic tear-off went into a brake duct.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But Hamilton's car registered like over a certain amount of G's, which made like mandatory medical center thing to get like checked up, and he was like, no, I refuse. I'm fine. And then they're like, you sure? And then they went to Mercedes like, hey, just so you know, here's a warning that if he doesn't do this, like bad things are about to happen. And then he finally went. Yeah.
Nuts.
Nice.
Nuts.
Speaking of UFC,
Okay.
this is not specifically referencing fighting and stuff. So, but UFC relates to Joe Rogan, which relates to, yes, that is the appropriate response when anybody mentions Joe Rogan in a context that isn't UFC.
And Fear Factor.
Even then, I don't know how much that holds up. I haven't watched Fear Factor in 20 years. I don't know if it holds up.
Everyone just remembers Chappelle Fear Factor. And I think even that was way after Fear Factor was like off.
Yeah. There was a thing I saw on Twitter literally today where apparently on Instagram, because everything's fucking stupid linked, Joe Rogan posted a photo where he's like, oh, everybody forgets about like the glorious simplicity of like a good eggs and cheese on toast or something like that, like eggs on toast or whatever. And he showed a photo of him like making eggs on toast. I'm not convinced that Joe Rogan had ever cooked eggs before posting that photo. They were the worst, most disgusting looking eggs I have ever seen.
Were they somehow like runny and also hard?
Yes, they were. They were raw and also burnt. There was somehow like they were utterly destroyed. Like wasn't like a nice round white with a nice round yolk. That everything was destroyed, but one of them was like no, that's not it. Okay. There was like at least one discernible, completely round, unbroken, also seemingly uncooked yolk in the middle of just awful. So be better than Joe Rogan and actually cook a good fried egg on toast. That's all I got for that. Any other bantery things anybody wants to talk about?
I'm enjoying She-Hulk.
She-Hulk has been good through 2 episodes.
Yes.
And I'm enjoying House of the Dragon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I still have not started it. We'll probably wait for Megan and also more reviews. Not that I don't trust I've been enjoying it.
Well, like I was
Not
telling,
exactly a glowing endorsement.
I mean, what I told Wes or was telling Wes is that the worst was it's okay to it's pretty good. So it's like he was like, is it good? And I'm like, it is within that realm. Yes.
Yeah, I 100% stand by that.
I would, yes.
You can print that quote.
Yeah.
Be better than Joe Rogan, everybody.
Yeah.
It's also our motto as a podcast, which is why we're getting a $10 billion Spotify deal.
Yeah. If only. Actually, no, I don't even want that.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that.
But I mean, it's already been renewed for season 2. It had like a shitload of it was their biggest like premiere ever for HBO.
Damn, good. Nice. So Hydra on chat had meant to send an email where we were talking about like Chip Theory's games being expensive, but he got he won a prize where he gets one of every one of their games. I also saw on Twitter
That's good.
They sent one of the guys from Rolling Dice Taking Names a fucking sword, like a really nice sword. It was cool. He was like, I got this weird package from Chip Theory Games. I'm going to open it, and if it sucks, I'm not going to publish this, but if it's cool, I'll publish it. And then it was a fucking sword. So, it's cool. Yeah, I'd take that deal. I'd pay shipping to get every one of their games for free. Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. Shipping and purchasable add-ons not included.
That makes sense.
So you can still spend a lot of money.
Yeah, you still do it if you want. Yeah.
What were we just talking about? I lost the thread.
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon, yes.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I went and watched Beast, the Idris Elba fights a lion movie. It was okay. Idris Elba is cool.
He is,
I like him in a lot of stuff. It was far from
like
the worst.
Fast and Furious Presents :
I actually did like him in that.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him a lot more in a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But I did like him in that.
Look, I like that his first thing in that movie that people are like, who are you? And he's just like, bad guy. I'm like, that's just perfect.
Yeah.
You didn't need anything else.
It was far from the worst, like, man fights a wild animal for 2 hours. Well, an hour and a half in this case, movie that I've ever seen. The closest thing I could say to negative about it is that there was a moment towards the end of the movie where we were at Alamo, so I didn't actually say this to Megan, but like if we were in any other environment, I would have turned to her and said, I really didn't expect to watch an extended scene of a man being mauled to death. But that's basically what happened.
Have you seen
The Revenant?
Oh,
yeah, The Revenant.
It's
somehow worse even than The Revenant.
It's the Zack Snyder zombie bank heist Vegas zombie movie.
Oh, no. Land of the Dead?
I did watch
Army
that.
of the Dead.
As much as I would like to forget that I watched that, I did watch that.
But
and
there
yes,
was
it did have
a
a pretty
lengthy
good...
zombie tiger mauling scene in there.
This was definitely worse than that.
Okay.
It was on the level of Revenant. Like, because a lot of people talked about that Revenant scene being like,
Yeah.
good God, I was not expecting it to be that.
Yeah.
It definitely went on a bit more than I thought was necessary.
Wow, like one
And
scene
certainly
in
more
House
than-
of the Dragon's first episode.
Great.
It's a fairly traumatic childbirth scene that is just like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, dear.
Interspersed with a tournament.
yeah.
Interesting.
And the
Fighting.
tournament was the less gruesome.
Yeah. Like people getting their faces smashed in with maces and shit. Like, yeah. Less
Okay.
gruesome.
Wow. Yeah. What else have I seen recently? Vengeance was really good. I'm trying to think of movies that are actually in the theaters that I've seen.
Yeah.
Vengeance was actually really good.
I enjoyed
liked
it, yeah.
Vengeance a lot.
I saw Nope.
Nope
was
was
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad you finally got around to that one, Jeff.
Yeah. Just waiting for it to come out. Home watching.
Something else.
I saw the new Dragon Ball Super movie, Superheroes. It was okay.
Dragon Ball Superhero?
Yes, exactly. That was
So I was Justin Dillon, and they have like an old ratty theater, and
Yeah.
it's a Dragon Ball SSHH.
or yes, SSH, yeah.
And I was like, the fuck?
Dragon Ball Super, which is the name of the current
Okay.
series,
And it's superhero.
Superhero.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was okay. But the thing I want to talk about was I was at the
Orange Piccolo? That's what you really want to talk about?
fucking Orange Piccolo. Yeah. It's a great name because it's very on point.
Yeah.
Versus whatever the fuck was going on with Gohan at that end. But
Ultra Primal or something
I've
like that?
I've heard people call it Beast Gohan.
Yeah, Beast.
Which is very
It's
bullshit.
because he had his,
I will say there was one moment
his
where
potential was unlocked.
Yeah, he was
that's
unlocked
his
potential.
That's his unlocked potential Super Saiyan.
Yeah. At one point
I know some of these
That's fine.
words.
At one point, Piccolo was trying to fight Cell Max, who was the bad guy from that one.
He's big.
He's very big. And then Krillin just goes up to Piccolo. I think it was Krillin. Somebody went up.
Yes, correct.
He went up to him and is just like, basically, hey, remember how you used to be big? You could get big. Why don't you just do that? And Piccolo was like, oh, okay. And then just becomes
it was from
53.
It was from this one time in the original
Yes.
Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
like long
Yeah.
80s Dragon Ball, that he could get big. And he
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah.
So here's my like have never watched a single moment of Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
Here's my knowledge. Gohan I recognize from like high school, like
Mhm.
the nerds I hung out with, like the Magic nerds, because
Yeah.
that's what they were.
Uh-huh.
Which I didn't play Magic either, but I still hung out with all of them.
Uh-huh.
Also watched a lot of Dragon Ball, so I recognize Gohan from that. Piccolo and Krillin, I
Uh-huh.
only recognize from the fucking podcast that we listened to.
All Systems Goku.
Nice.
Going
Yeah.
to it
Nice.
from Gen Con.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep.
So it's a
Geekway.
really
That was Geekway.
That-
I thought the first time it was Gen Con.
I don't remember multiple times, but maybe.
Oh.
I only remember it from Geekway.
Okay,
so.
maybe it was Geekway. But yeah, so like Gohan is one of the few that I recognize from, and like Super Saiyan and some of
Yeah.
those like really common terms. But like,
And Goku, of course.
yeah, that's what I said. Goku was the first one.
Oh, I see. And Gohan.
Oh, yes, Goku and Gohan. Yes. But yeah, Krillin and Piccolo, I definitely had never heard of until All Systems Goku.
Yep.
So it's always fun when you guys get talking about Dragon Ball, and I'm like,
I have
I
not.
know some of those words.
Yeah. I have not really watched any of Dragon Ball Super,
I
so
haven't either.
I don't really know stuff. But they had a scene in that movie where they showed Goku at some
Yes.
point, but I did not understand why Goku was somewhere else.
They were just hanging out with, I think his name was Weiss, but they were like sort of training Brawly. And then,
And
The-
I guess that was from the previous movie.
yeah, Brawly was and that's still, like, in my opinion, the best of the ones I've seen.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super Brawly is the best one of those. But they're training on here, and then there's like a communicator that Bulma's trying to talk with, like to talk to them, like, hey, we have some problems. You need to come back because they're on a different world. But Lord Beerus was just eating ice cream, and then just like threw an empty container, and it happened to land on like the communicator thing, so it was like blinking, but the ice cream tub was on top of it, so they couldn't see it, and then you never see them again. And that's how they explained why the strongest people were not there.
Yes. That's why they could make the movie interesting.
Yes, yeah. Which it was a lot more plot driven than I was expecting. It was a lot of Piccolo just infiltrating things, talking about bad stomach.
I mean, I feel like those two moments, the ice cream carton covering the communicator and somebody going over to Piccolo and be like, remember when you could be big?
Yeah.
Is like more set up for like explaining plot holes than I see in like most major like blockbuster movies sometimes.
But an anime's been going like 40 plus years. Like, you got some shit.
Remember when you were big?
Remember when we did Dragon Ball and it was just like a kid's cartoon, like, and you could just be big for no reason because we didn't give a shit back then?
Yep.
Can you just do that now? Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Sure.
But like still in your orange form. Yeah.
Yeah. But now you're orange.
Yeah. It's like, you have this new form. What are you going to call it? I don't know. Orange Piccolo. All right. It was his name. He called it that. And I was like, perfect.
Perfect. Because he's orange now.
He's orange.
I want to start another podcast where you guys just like talk obscure anime. Well, and not even obscure. Like Dragon Ball's not obscure by anime standards at all. But you just talk anime stuff to me while I vaguely try to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Oh, there's some good anime for that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never know. I just never know.
I can't wait for Chainsaw Man to come out.
He's got a chainsaw.
I gotta tap out right
He's
there.
got a chainsaw head.
Yeah.
I've only seen the trailer.
Chainsaw head. Chainsaw Man has
Yeah?
a chainsaw head.
Does he have
of all
multiple
of the
chainsaws?
appendages I expected to be a chainsaw on Chainsaw Man, head would have been
Like comes
bottom
out of his
six.
comes like out of his face.
Also in his hands.
Also not the orientation I would have.
Also literally into it, like his hand, pop out of his hands like that.
Like fucking Wolverine.
Like Wolverine, but with
See, that-
chainsaws.
I could've believed
also
that.
on his feet.
I did not know there was feet chainsaws.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Okay. It's a Super Saiyan chainsaw form.
Oh no, no, it's not. The other one was where he uses his intestines as like a scarf.
Great.
Does he at some point become like a old school, like Old Testament biblical angel version, just made of chainsaws?
No, that's the gun devil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. God damn.
Or the Control Devil, and then this new one. You saw him fighting the Cockroach Devil, and he's just like fucking 100 feet. It was great.
You could be lying to me, and I just
Gun Devil
No.
is a very good name.
Yes, it is. Well, it was great. Is in this part 2, a character that you don't know ends up being like the War Devil.
this is the new
Most-
podcast now. By the way, we're just gonna do
is
this.
it.
Takes
all
a
it's
guy's, pulls his spine out, and becomes a sword, and then slice.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that Predator movie.
I have seen that. That's a thing I've seen on
Yeah.
a Predator movie.
Like I said, there's some good stuff for that.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Do we want to cover news and Kickstarters?
No, we still have one more game to cover.
Wait, what?
Yeah. We have a bloody minute.
Oh
sir.
my fucking god!
Oh my god! All right, well, we won't do news.
All
and
right, so we
Kickstarter.
definitely won't
We have-
do news and
we have-
Kickstarters.
We have a bloody tournament.
Yeah.
Oh god! All right,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's going to be the basically the end. Yeah, because then news and
I mean, that's
Kickstarter's
fine, but that's 43 days, so it can wait till next week.
yeah, exactly.
So this last Saturday, the day after I chipped my tooth, I jammed a bunch of ibuprofen in my face because it wasn't too bad yet, and played a 3-game, 7-person attendee Blood Bowl tournament.
Only 7?
Only
Ooh.
7, which
Oof.
meant Ant had to stand out for the entire tournament because we couldn't get an even number.
Wait, he had to stand out.
Yeah, he couldn't play.
I thought you wanted an even number.
We only had 7
So-
with Ant.
Oh,
so he had
with
to,
Ant.
Yes, with
Oh,
Ant.
so it was only
Oh.
6.
So it was only 6.
Oh.
Yeah. This was the Corpse tournament, which was all about touchdowns didn't mean shit, but KOs, casualties, kills, and such did mean shit. My first game was against Craig. Craig was playing a team. I think it was it literally orcs? Oh, it was dwarves. He was playing dwarves.
Okay.
He had a fuckload of guard. I only had 2 guard. I lost one of my guard almost immediately. I got up 1-0, and I think that one ended up a 2-1 loss for me because I just did not have the guard to keep up,
Okay.
and 2 10+ armor teams just smash against each other. It's just whoever gets hot dice. He knocked out 2 of my dudes on 1-die rolls and shit too, which was always frustrating. Be like, I'm just gonna throw 1 die. Matt, he's KO'd. Matt, he's casualtied. Cool. Second game was orcs. Well, I was playing orcs on Shambling Undead, which is 2 big guy mummies, 2 whites, 2 ghouls, your standard undead team with skeletons and zombies. I got first turn, and I hit his whole line of zombies and got nothing but pushes, no downs, no breaks, no nothing. Yeah, which is you need that first turn to get something done, an armor break, a stun, whatever. They're only 7+ or 8+ to break their, or 8+ or 9+ to break their armor. They're not heavy. And I got fucking nothing.
Ouch.
Yeah. I ended up getting one of his ghouls out. I got some KOs. I think I had him down to maybe 8 or 9 on 11. It wasn't super huge, but I was able to delay and just kind of smash the crap out of him. But it didn't matter because I got nothing but KOs and everything came back. So it was then 11 on 11 in the second half. His first 2 blocks knocked out both of my guard for the rest of the fucking game. And I was 9 on 11 after the first turn of the second half. I just tried to delay as hard as possible from him scoring. I got most of the way there. I think he scored on his 8, giving me 1 more turn. We did get a timeout or a pitch invasion, which turned the clock back 1. So I actually would get 2 turns. And I almost got I'm confusing that with the second game, the third game. I tied the game 2. So I had a loss and a tie and almost nothing for casualties. I was getting real middle of the road horse shit here. Then on my last game, it was orcs on black orcs, which were one of the brand new teams for the new rule set. So that one is just 6 black orcs and then goblins. and a troll. I got his troll out pretty early, which was nice. And then still didn't do really much against him. And then it was 1-1. He kept winning the kickoffs, which were the new prayers to Nuffle table, which if you get if you roll like a 5, you get to roll in tournaments on a D8 table. It's normally a D16 table with a bunch more other horse shit. But this one gets you D8, and he got like 4 of those, which were like, give +1 armor to a player of your choice. He got that twice.
What the fuck?
Give -1 movement to a player on your opponent's team of your choice. So that
I'm
was
understanding why I did not enjoy Blood Bowl. Like these things just continue to be like, oh yeah.
That wasn't in the previous edition at all.
Right.
That's something from the new edition that is more.
So it's getting worse.
It's getting significantly worse. Yes.
Okay. I'm glad that even somebody who likes Blood Bowl feels that way.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, cool. Now you have like armor 11 on your. I have to roll boxcars to be able to break your fucking armor.
That is fucked. Holy shit.
The second half was real rough. I had 4 double skulls in the second half, which he was then able to tie. I delayed as hard as possible I could in that one, but then we got the pitch invasion, and I got 2 turns. And of course, he only had 1 turn. He had no turns left, so he just lined his dudes up on the back row and only had 3 dudes on the line. But now suddenly I have 2 turns to score, which means I could score with my guys on the line, but I needed to pass. I needed a 5+ pass, 3+ catch, which I succeeded. Ran the dude up, Actually, it did not succeed. It bounced into someone else's hands, which was successful, and so continued my turn. Moved them up. Of course, they were like movement 5, so they weren't that fast. He went to block my dudes, and I needed to like blitz and some dodges, and a handoff to 2+ go for it for the win. I failed the handoff, and that was it.
Ouch.
But when he scored, I think I got 2 turns in a row of my first block being double skulls and just being like, cool, all right, that's it for my turn. Like I'd stood dudes up and moved them, but I didn't have many left at that point. And yeah, that was a lost tie. There was 4 trophies: last place, first place, most casualties, and second place. So that meant basically 2 people didn't get trophies, which were 4th and 5th place.
And you were?
I don't know. I have no idea.
But you were 4th or 5th?
I was 4th or 5th. Thursby was the other 4th or 5th. And I never played Thursby.
Okay.
It was 3 guys that I didn't really know: Thursby, Craig, and myself.
Gotcha.
Corpse.
All right.
Yeah. I did not do well.
Bummer.
I see.
Ant is thinking whether or not he wants to do tournaments anymore. He's not a fan of the new rule set.
So I had heard that he was straight up not doing Blood Bowl anymore at all.
He's still doing the NAF stuff,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you guys used to get like 12 people, right?
At least,
yeah.
Yeah. It would be fairly well attended. Some like 15, 16.
Okay.
But yeah, he's not a fan of the new rule set. Does not like it.
It sounds bad. Everything I've heard about it sounds bad.
Yeah, I don't really like it. The league is still happening, but yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see. They had invited me to a Colorado Springs tournament that was happening the next day, and I was just like, no.
Ooh.
I've not heard good things about the Springs tournaments because they always have these really weird rules that are like super broken. Like you can like break some shit real hard. It was all inducements were half off. That's what it was.
Fuck.
So all star players were half off. Wizards were half off. Whatever you wanted to take was fucking half off. So you could make some real like, okay, cool. I take Morg for 175 gold or something, 175,000 gold from his like 325,000 or something like that. Like,
okay,
cool. I'm just gonna take Morg and destroy. But yeah, it's Morg has Mighty Blow +2, which
that's
is
rough.
And Strength 6, Armor 10,
Ooh,
Agility 3, Movement 6.
6. Goddamn.
Yeah, he's definitely the hottest.
Seems fair and balanced.
Yeah. His gold price was even significantly lower and broken to the point of where halfling teams would run him and 2 trees plus their team and just absolutely raffle stomp everyone because all-star players have a special ability they can use once per drive, once per game. Some are ridiculously broken, but his is when you do the throw teammate, he gets a free reroll. If you fail. If you fail, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he has Ballista, which is like the throw teammate, like fancy skill too. So basically, like if you don't make the 2+, you roll 1, you get a free like 2+ reroll. You basically get a free touchdown with him, which is
great.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, all right.
But apparently the guy that did the 2nd edition moved to 40K, and now there's a different guy that's in charge of Blood Bowl now, and maybe there's going to be another edition of Blood Bowl happening in the next couple of years.
Sure.
But that seems like it would be nice to fix the issues that are currently happening.
Yeah.
We'll see. Right now, we don't have any emails.
No.
But we do have one listener feedback from the depths of YouTube. Paulo, over in Paulo's Corner, says, I've finished...
Which episode was this?
274, so 2 weeks back.
Okay.
Gen Con minus.
Okay.
I finished the King's Dilemma campaign, and I won. It's a cool game that depends greatly on the group and that people are okay with the chaos. I liked it.
We don't even know how you win yet, so...
All I know is that it's however you win. It's not how I'm playing, so...
Unless it is.
No, it's not. Unless it's... The only way it could be is just be bad at the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's not. It's not that.
I mean, you could go Crave, and maybe there's a
But
win
I'm
condition
not.
for Crave.
That's the thing, is that there are people that are higher up on Crave. Any metric by which somebody could win.
Maybe it's not having the most Crave or the other one.
There's still somebody that has that.
So you are in the middle on everything?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the victory
No,
condition.
it's not.
Well, how do you know what the victory condition is, Zach?
I know it's not that.
But yeah, so that's coming from Paulo's Corner. And by the way, Paulo, yes, I do know that was you during all of the pre-show banter. I do know who you are both on the chat and in real life. I just don't dox people because I'm respectful.
You don't do it anymore.
I mean, I don't do it
since you last did it
intentionally.
You haven't done it since you last did it.
I haven't done it since I last did it. Hey, Andrew, you still watching? But yeah, so that is the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. I am weirdly tired and don't feel like reading all of our contact information. It's in the other 275 fucking episodes that we have released. Well, most of them.
Yeah. Just
basically just go to
Slack.
Show notes, go to Slack.
Show notes and Slack. Yep. So yeah, do that stuff. And until next week, which I'm not going to have a chance to play board games, I don't think. So you guys are going to have to carry the episode. I'll work Wednesday. Yay.
We've never had to do that before.
No, never. No. Never had to carry the show. But we'll be back next we'll be back next week. Until then, we'll catch y'all later. As always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I'm still Zach.
And I'm Pilfrey.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.